what's up, guys? Welcome back to your favorite Kenyan movies and TV podcast, Movie Buffs. You know who we are at this point. Today, we actually have something new for you guys that we're trying out. It's our first mini-sode. Isn't that cute? So, listen, now that we've talked about this before on the podcast, now that season 2, and I think moving forward, we're going to be talking about our lives, Kenyan culture, pop culture. The episodes, and I'm sure you've noticed, they've gotten a little bit long. We're hitting that 40-minute mark. We're hitting that hour mark. We're hitting that hour 30 mark. And listen, we love it. We love chatting with you guys. We love to yap. But if you guys out there just want to come in, get your movie reviews, get your TV reviews, and then get out, minisodes are for you. We're going to be talking about probably 1 to 2 things that we've watched. Going to keep it tight, keep it short. So this is for all our people on the go who don't got time, who are booked and busy, but also want to hear what's going on, what you watching, what should I check out this weekend. This episode, these kinds of episodes are for you. Yay, minisodes. Yeah. I think it's so cute.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's get into what we're talking about this minisode, which is The Gentlemen, Netflix's newest TV show, and it seems to be sort of their latest hit of March. March 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Gentlemen is cool, man. So
yeah, tell us what it's about, boo.
Okay, so it's a spin-off TV series produced by Guy Ritchie, which is a spin-off of a movie from a few years back called with the same name, The Gentlemen. So it's a spin-off. So the plot it's a different plot, but it's a similar idea.
Right. In the same family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the same family.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Tell us more.
Yeah, the characters are different.
Oh, okay. Cool.
In the TV show versus in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, we have not seen the movie.
Yes.
But we have watched the new Netflix TV show. So, this show is quite interesting. Like, it's an action comedy starring Theo James and Kaya Scodelario, among other people like Giancarlo Esposito. And
you might recognize Kaya from Skins. She played
Right.
Effie, icon.
Right. Effie from Skins. If you guys are Skins fans, get to see Effie be a complete boss. Yeah, which is dope.
Yeah. Okay, The Gentlemen. Tell us about it, boo.
Yeah. Okay. So The Gentleman is about a former army officer who comes from an aristocratic family, and after the death of his father, he leaves the army and he inherits basically the estate, and he soon discovers that there's like an illegal drug operation going on, and he tries to break his family free from these guys, like basically having their operation on his property.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, definitely. So what'd you think of the show? What were your thoughts?
I liked it so much, man. It was really funny. Like, it was really comedy forward, and I liked that. To be honest, I didn't really look at much about it before we watched it, so I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it was going to be like really actiony, which it was actiony, but like it was really comedy forward, which I liked.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of had this like dark comedy vibe. Like it reminded me so much about like Knives Out and sort of this like campy, over the top type of humor set in sort of this like aristocratic. It's difficult. This aristocratic environment. I really loved it. I also really appreciated the juxtaposition of like selling weed, which is typically, it's usually related to, the streets and the ghetto. Yeah. So seeing that happen in sort of like a like, an upper crust space was really, really cool, right? So basically echoing what you said, Theo James's character, he inherits this dukedom from his father who has passed. And with that, he discovers that in order to maintain the family home, the dad's been doing some illegal dalliances with the Glass family, who he becomes intimately involved with. Yeah. He originally wants to not be a part of this activity, but then it turns out that maybe he's enjoying this a little too much, right? Like he's enjoying the Menendos of criminality and criminal activity.
Right. So his mission is to like, I need to get these people out of here.
Yes, but that of course,
right. So he starts meeting with them to be like, okay, like if I do this for you, will you guys eventually then leave? And so that's kind of how he gets into it, and he gets roped into it, and basically he eventually
chaos ensues.
Yeah,
basically.
chaos ensues.
Yeah.
They're trying to make deals, they're trying to make moves, so things get complicated, and it ends up with him having to do things that he's probably never really done before. Yeah. As a drug dealer, basically, at this point, an international criminal at this point, right?
Yeah.
And it's like he really just falls into the role of being like this criminal, whereas he was just an army officer like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can tell like he's like enjoying it, like
Yeah.
putting in work and like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like he's enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So OG movie buff fans know that back in the day when we would do movie buff reviews, we would break down each category when we're talking about this show. So we'll do that with this too. So let's talk about the performances first. I thought the performance was really great. I think that, Theo James is always very charming on screen. I think that this role makes a lot of sense for him. Is it anything out of the norm for him? No. I think that this is very much like up his alley. I thought he was really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it something special? No.
No,
but I thought he was
special,
great.
really.
He was solid. He was really, really solid.
I think he played the role well.
Yeah.
He was believable as his character, and
Yes.
he just kind of like let it ride a bit.
Yeah.
I don't think Theo was doing too much. You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
this is his very much his bread and butter, right? Like I think that
Yeah,
this felt
exactly,
very.
yeah.
He was in his bag and in yours too, as they say. He was very confident, and you could tell like this is very much like tailored for him.
Yeah.
The performance that I think stood out the most to me actually was the wonderful gentleman who I adore seeing. He's in so many projects, particularly like
Oh,
British
yeah.
projects. The guy who played Freddie, I forget his name. Maybe Will. Yeah, we can take a moment and
his
look up
name
what
is
his name is.
Daniel Ings.
Daniel Ings.
Yeah.
I just find him to be so charming. So charming. And I thought he was so wonderful in this role. Again, is this something groundbreaking for him? No. He typically plays the goofy side character who is underestimated and
Yeah.
usually pushed to the side because of the goofiness and the humor. But I thought that this was just like that at its best in this particular role. He
Right.
was the scene stealer to me.
Yeah. I feel that. Like I said, okay, well, I didn't say that yet, but Kaya Scodelario is one of the main characters as well.
Yes.
If you guys don't know her, she's Effie from Skins.
She runs the operation for the Glass family, Susie Glass.
So she's Susie Glass.
Yes.
She runs the operation for the Glass family.
Yeah, what did you think of her performance?
I thought it was so good, man. Because,
Yeah.
I haven't seen Kaya Scodelario in very many things.
She's grown. I was
Yeah.
like, I still think of her as Effie, right? So seeing
yeah.
her being a grown woman in her 30s was so interesting.
I think I saw her in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I think like the last one or something. She was like one of the characters. I think I've seen her. I think she was in Maze Runner. I'm not sure. I think she was in Maze Runner.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she was. But yeah, so I haven't really seen her in like do too much.
Right.
And yeah, it was just nice to see her be like a badass, like, just boss handling shit.
Yes.
Yeah, people were scared of her. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it was really cool. I thought she had a pretty compelling performance.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
thought she had really good stage presence, and like she was very
Yeah,
much like she felt very like
definitely.
I always love. It's always interesting seeing actors who go from acting as kids to now as adults, and it can be really hard to figure out like who your identity as a performer really is. And I always
Yeah.
love to see when a former child star has figured out who they are as an adult as a performer, and you
Yeah.
can tell that Kaya.
Kaya.
Yeah, you can tell that Kaya has really kind of like figured out like where she's moving towards, and you see like how Effie was the beginnings of that, and
Yeah, yeah.
it was really cool. I
That's-
thought she
that's
was
a good
really
point.
she held her own a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point because I feel like her real pocket is like a little bit of comedy and a little bit of drama at the same time, which she was kind of what was happening on Skins. But I feel like in this it was like to a different level because there's action involved. It was more like comedy, but like dark comedy, and like I don't know, it just felt like there was a little bit of drama to it, even if that show wasn't really about anything dramatic, really.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
very British in her approach to humor, right? Like it's extremely dry,
Yeah.
and it works for a show like
Yeah.
this. Yeah, I thought she was great.
Especially for her character, it worked
Yeah.
perfectly. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the cinematography? What did you think about the cinematography? Anything
I
stand out
liked
to you?
it. I liked it. I thought it was good. You can tell it's a Guy Ritchie project, not necessarily so much in the cinematography, but
Yeah.
like it looks just like a Netflix show. You know what I mean? But like I felt like it was clean enough for what it was trying to accomplish, and everything looked really good in my opinion. Oh, sorry. Choking on nothing.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, guys.
Sorry, just give me 1 sec. Yeah,
Quick
we'll
break,
talk.
guys.
Quick
Be right
break.
back. No, yeah. I thought her performance was
Okay, we back.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to cinematography. So you said, yeah, okay, it looks like a regular Netflix show. Yeah, I think that there was a really strong use of location in the show. Like I loved again, like the backdrop is such a part of like the tone of the show. And I thought that those I thought the color grading and the use of like the estate and the mansion and using that as a really fun juxtaposition between like the Menenos and the chaos of like selling weed was really brilliantly done. There's some really gorgeous use of color, particularly when it comes to like the weed den or whatever you want to call it, where they're like actually like growing the weed and everything. Right. Some great use of color, and what a great like contrast from like the opulence of the family estate. And yeah, I thought that they really played up the vibrancy in terms of the color in both of those settings to really make us feel like this is the dichotomy was really like defined really well to me, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And what about the writing? Thoughts on the writing?
I like the writing, and I like how the plot progressed, and I liked the twist at the end.
Yeah.
And I liked the ending as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was good how they we were introduced to a lot of characters in the beginning, and it was nice to see how a lot of these characters tied in with each other. In like the second last episode, there was like, I don't know if I want to say it's a plot twist, but it was like the revelation of the ongoing mystery. Like not necessarily a plot twist, but it was the revelation of the mystery that was building up from now the first episode of like, okay, who actually are these people on the property? Okay, how are they doing this? How are they maintaining their hold over this aristocratic family? Who's pulling the actual strings behind the scenes? Are these guys telling the truth whilst they're working with Theo James' character? I like how all those questions kind of got answered in the second to last episode, and it made sense. Everything made sense. Nothing was really a waste.
Yeah, definitely. In regards to the writing, I think it's quintessentially British, right? Like, I think that it has all that dry humor. It has that edge. It has that wit. It has that sarcasm that we love from British humor. I do think that some things were told instead of shown. And I think it might have been stronger to show those things. I actually disagree with you. I don't love how they showed the twist at the end. I thought it was fine, but I thought that they could have like showed that verse. I'm not going to say what it is in case you haven't watched the show yet, and it's spoiler free. Minisodes, we don't spoil in minisodes. But I thought that they could have showed that instead of like telling us what it was. I felt like they told us a lot, and that is kind of the format of the show. It is kind of like this almost like there's a very strong like narrator type of story. Yeah. It's very narrative in that kind of way, and I think that works at some times, but I think it also underserves the story at other times. So there are some parts where I'm like, damn, it could have been cool if we learned this a different kind of way. But I did appreciate sort of like the overall like approach to the formatting of the show as it came to the writing. And again, like it's witty, it's dry, it's British. Yes. Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah. And what about like any other like effects or anything in the show worth noting? I actually really loved the note taking effect in the show where they would like they put like they'd give us that little context like that.
Sometimes
I loved that.
There'd be like some words and we like you might not know what it means.
Yeah.
Or it
explains
a phrase
the math
or something.
Math.
Yeah. It was really cool. It was like I feel like that just added to its like really narrative feeling.
Yes.
Where, like it's kind of like when you're reading a book, the author might be like, oh, like give a little context on something.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of in like a scribble down way, like real quick, like just for quick info. It was like it was interesting to see it like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
It
cool.
almost makes it like a narrative experience.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or sorry, interactive, not narrative. Hey, we're just saying narrative. Yeah.
Right,
it almost makes the experience interactive. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, what would you give this show out of 10? We always go back and forth. Which do you guys prefer? Should we do 1 out of 10, or do you like grades like A, B, C, D, E, F?
Right.
Tell us. Right. But for this purpose, we'll do through 10.
Through 10.
Yeah. What do you think?
That's a good one. Just with all of those criteria that we talked about, I think I'll give it a good 7.5.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. I was thinking 7.5 exactly too.
Yeah.
Synergy.
Yeah. I'll give it a good 7.5.
Yes. I would give it a 7.5. Was it groundbreaking? No. Was it entertaining? Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, 'cause
yeah.
it doesn't have to blow my mind. It doesn't have to be
Yes.
something I've never seen before.
Yes.
It was a story that I felt like was told quite well.
Yes.
Was interesting, captivating.
It was fresh.
It's funny. We were laughing the whole time.
Yes.
And we did find that you need to pay attention though, otherwise you'll
Yes.
get it'll be hard to understand some of the things that happen.
Don't watch this
yeah.
while you're doing dishes
There's many
or like while you're
characters.
washing your ass.
Yeah.
Don't. This is a show for paying attention.
There's many characters. There's a lot of dialogue. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you need to like kind of pay attention because you might miss something. But
Yeah. Okay, you heard it here first, guys. Our official rating 7.5. All right, guys, what a fun mini episode.
Yeah.
Let us know if you like this. If you enjoy it, we'll keep doing more, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys.
Bye.